It's not like a classroom. Already I'm telling, right? Already I said. Again I'm telling. So this is not a classroom session. It's like feel like a teamwork and it's a office work. Okay, it feel like a job oriented. Okay, and what our requirement and that requirement, how the Spring is implementing and what methods are there, what approaches are there. Learn properly and implement it. And if the same question is asked in the interview, you are able to answer, right? What is auto wire? What is the by name, by type, right? And different scenarios we are learning in the Spring. Okay, each topic is important. So this all we are maximum discussing 30 minutes or 40 minutes, right? Focus on this time. Okay, carefully listen. And today topic is next level. Can you see, right? My screen. So at the rate auto wire, what is avoiding in XML file? Tell me, Pooja. What is avoiding? What is avoiding in XML?
Yes, sir. Yeah, sorry for the delay.
Yes.
Okay, could you please repeat the question? Like, is that the thing what you asked is why do we use at
Yes.
the rate
At
auto
the rate.
while?
Correct.
Annotation is okay. So earlier, what we have done in the bean ID in the bean tag, what we do, we keep auto where is equal to by name, and then
Correct.
just a second, sir. I'll continue just a second.
Okay, no problem.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was not ready actually.
So when the class is started, you should ready, right?
Yeah, sorry, sir. Yeah. Okay, we used to keep at the auto wire is equal to by name. But then after instead of keeping it in the every bin, we in the every bin that we have a global auto wire configuration. In order to avoid this global auto configuration, also we have got at the rate. We have got this at the rate auto wire annotation. Like
Okay.
for all the beans, we have creating the object. We add this at the rate whatever on the particular property in Pojo class. So no need to mention in the XML. Like
Good.
by adding this
And
context annotation config in the XML, container is going to identify the particular
yeah,
dependencies.
guys, listen carefully. And next question, Pooja, what is this Mubashir done mistake? And have we fixed it?
Okay, so what happened is that he is mentioning the the bean, sorry, the property. Or what we say, the dependency. The name which he mentioned is some ID which he is giving in the setter method. It is different from the bean ID which he is mentioning in the XML.
Mm.
Actually, this container is going to identify based on the property which we are giving in the Pojo and the setter method. Now
Why
here it
why
is,
is taking that name? Because we are mentioning in the
we are
XML file, right?
mentioning, yeah.
Artwide equal to by name. What is this bean ID name and the setter method property name should be matched. Otherwise, that method is won't invoke, will get null pointer exception. Clear? Clear, everyone? What Mubashir is done the mistake and how is the do fixed it and what is internally working. Everyone
Yes,
respond.
sir.
Good. Next, okay. Yeah,
Yes,
Pooja,
sir.
very good explanation. Go and mute. Next, Srinivas. So, what is the at the rate component annotation avoiding the XML configuration? Yesterday we discussed, right? At the rate component, and you said executed. Tell me, Srinivas, what is the full name? Gugbala. Srinivas, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my question is clear. Can
Yes,
I repeat? Yeah, then answer it. Listen carefully, others.
This at the rate component is used to denote the class component.
Class level annotation. There is a class level. Okay. And yesterday we written at class level. Example, this is where controller class at the rate component, line number 9. And what is avoiding in the XML file? What is avoiding in the XML? Which one you no need to write if you are using this XML?
Yes.
This is a common interview question again.
Bean tag, sir.
Good. Yes.
Bean tag.
Who said? Your name? We can avoid this, correct?
Yes.
So, Srinivas, why you are not getting topic details and everything? I think Mobishwar said, right?
Yes.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, very good. So everyone should understand and remember these things so that while developing the code, we can easy. And now we are removing these complete details, right? And in XML file, there is no bean configuration. Then how you informing to the container? Okay. If you are using this at the rate artwire, at the rate component. And another point is at the rate component, how it's working. At the rate component, how it's working. Previously in XML file, we are writing like bean ID and class information. So that string container will create the object for this given bean. But I am not using this XML approach. I am using annotation at the rate component. Okay. Whenever you are using this at the rate component, by default, what is the class name is there? That name only is taking. Okay. That name only is taking and creating the bean. And if you want to change the any that bean ID, then you can mention here inside it with parenthesis. You can mention just I don't want the test controller. Just I'm giving the controller. Like that, you can whatever name you want to give, you can give. If you don't give any bean ID, then by default is taking class name and start with the small letter. Small letter means T is a small T, test and controller. It's taking default. Okay. So because internally again following this structure. Clear everyone? And another interview question. And if you are not writing any XML, if you are writing in XML, everything is easy, right? Okay, but in XML file, just we are not writing any bean. We are using at the rate component annotation. But how we are informing? Okay, how you? Okay, how do you inform? Okay, how do you inform to container where my beans are available? How do you inform to Spring container? Okay, how do you inform to container about what about our beans? Where our beans are there? How you create the object? Okay, how you are informing to container if I'm using all annotation? Are you informing? Yesterday we executed also. One tag you added in the XML file. Check your examples. Srinivas, Gopal. At the rate
qualifier.
At the rate qualifier is not that. That is for what? Same bean we are configuring 2 times. We are using at the rate qualifier annotation. So next question is not this one. We are not written any bean configuration in XML. But how container you know that? Where is your beans are there? Your controller bean, service bean, DAO bean, right? These are where is available. How we are informing to the container? How we are informing? Just check your example.
At the rate bean.
At the rate bean. No. In XML file we are using, right? So how we are informing by using context colon component scan base package equal. See here in the XML file there is no bean configuration. I'm using all our annotation approach. Then whenever reading this XML file, okay, in main method, whenever reading this XML file is going to XML string1.xml, right? Is there any bean details? Bean ID class equal is there? Have you seen any bean details?
No, sir.
No. Then how does string container know it? We are informing through which approach? Which tag? Context colon component scan. Okay. For this question, answer is understood.
Yes, sir.
Context colon component scan, which is where you are scanning our bean detail from this base package. Where is our base package? com.tcs or com.wipro we written, right? This is the base package. In this Wipro, again, we have child packages are there, right? Controller, service, DAO. Like that, from there is loading all the scanning the beans and creating the object. Whenever you are using @component annotation, we should use this tag in XML. The same bean configure 2 times, and I'm using @auto-void. So by default, which bean is taking, we don't know, right? Yesterday I executed this example. Okay.
Which ambiguity will occur?
Sorry. Mute yourself. Are you telling anything, or otherwise you can put in mute while explaining? Is it so? Mubashir?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Do you have any question?
No, sir. I am saying whenever that time ambiguity will occur,
yes, correct.
The container will confuse which object you want. That time we have to mention in qualifier, qualifier which beans you want, which beans object you want.
Yes, in the XML file, bean ID is there, right? The bean ID you should mention here. Example we done for the test service one, right? Test service one we are giving like. So this have we discussed tested. Okay, then go unmute. Next one. Today topic is, and we are using @component annotation for every class. Right? Every means the controller level. So we are controller level also. We are writing @component, and service level also. We are using same annotation, and DAO also we are using @component. This component is useful for to avoiding the bean configuration, but it's not giving the complete meaning of that which class here a bean object is creating, whether it is a controller class or it is a service class or is a DAO class. So it's not giving the name, right? Okay. So here is not conveying the proper which class this we are annotating. So for that, later version, they are introducing the 3 annotation. Okay. So it's continuation to which one? @component. @component continuation to give the proper naming conventions from this @component annotation. 3 annotations are introduced. Those are @controller. Okay. Next one, @service layer means @service annotation, and @DAO. @DAO we called as a repository. Okay, repository. So DAO related we have to use DAO related classes we can annotate by using this annotation. Clear? So once I'm repeating. So @component annotation is not giving the complete naming convention, which class we are mapping, which class we are creating the object, whether it is a controller class or it is a service class or it is a DAO or repository class. It's not giving the naming convention, right? So that is the reason later version, I think it is Spring 2.5, they introduced this three annotation. And each annotation, do you know, is all are interfaces only. Interfaces in Java. Okay. So at the rate controller annotation, at the rate service annotation, and at the rate repository annotation. These three annotations was introduced to provide the complete meaning. What is the complete naming convention to which class we are creating the bean object. Clear now? And for these three annotations, the super class is component only. Clear? And in this existing example, I can change here. So this is our example is where this is, and removing other things. Okay, this is our example. So in test curve, this is not a component, right? We can in real time we can use @ component for helper class. Okay, utility classes. So that time we cannot give proper naming convention, right? So we can use that one. If is controller logic, then you can use which one? @ controller. Just to see control space, will get auto suggestion because already added jars, right? See here, we are showing right @ controller. It's a which annotation? Stereotype annotation. Okay, see what imported here. What is this? Stereotype annotation. The component is also stereotype, but is a super type here, and this is child type. Okay, and come back to the which one? Next service layer. In service layer, this is a service logic, right? So we know this is service. Then we can use which one? @ service annotation. Control space. It's giving the @ service. This is stereotype. Okay, see, it's imported or not? It's imported. Clear? Save. And the controller class is done. You can save. Next, come to DAO. You can do all that. You can execute along with me because already this code is there, right? @ component code. @ what is that? Repository. DAO logic we can use @ repository. See here. Stereotype repository. Clear? Clear everyone?
Sir, what is stereotype, sir? What is that meaning? Stereotype means
This is a predefined package, right? So string is given. This all whatever you are using the packages, they are storing into this packages. So we are not implemented this one. So we are reusing Spring framework given classes and interfaces. So they added, this is the base package, arg.spring framework. They added some sub package, stereotype. So stereotype means is what you are avoiding the XML configuration. We can use with annotation approach. So we have different annotations are there in these packages like component, repository, service, controller, and some @ value is there. Next we discuss that is also. Okay, clear? And
Okay,
I want to test this one by you adding the new annotations, right? So I want to test here. So in this C XML file, so go to the main file. This is a main demo. And what I'm class path XML, what is reading? What is the reading? Config. What is the config file? Com Wipro config spring1.xml. This is a com Wipro config spring.xml, right? But in that spring.xml file, there is no bean details, right? Bean ID, class equal to no, right? And auto wire equal to also we didn't configure. They're using XML approach. So, but how the container, Spring container know it about our bean details? By adding this tag, context : component to scan. Okay, base package equal to this one, com.wipro. So see here, com.wipro is the parent package. There later thing is changing. Client, config, controller, DAO, service. Clear? So now the container is going to this base package and checking is there any beans are there, and all the beans will creating the object by using here. For example, is coming to the com.wipro and is coming to the controller class. In controller class is looking for which annotation? either it is a direct component annotation or either controller or service repository checking. Direct controller is there. And what is the class name is there? Same is class name is taking the small letter and creating the bean. Again, internally is following this XML structure only. Internally following this XML way only. But we are not giving the bean ID, right? So what is bean ID here? Class name is taking the part. Start with the small letter. Clear? Understood? The main class how is executing. Right?
Yes,
And
sir.
next after that we are calling that which be controller context.getBean. We are test controller calling, and once we got the controller object, we are calling the get name. Clear? And I want to test once again. So we are able to access, right? We are created object and calling the get name method. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So what changes is done here? Yeah. Mubshir, I will give the other chance. Yeah, Lakshmi Ram, Prabhakar. Are you following? So we are added to 3 annotations.
Yes, sir.
This is first time we are attending or?
This is
Team
first
session?
time, sir. This is first time.
Okay. I understood, right? So what code changes are done?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Then. Next, Shivraj, tell me what code changes I have done here in this one and why I am done. Shivraj, I'm asking you.
Sir,
So, yeah, tell me what I did here. Instead of component annotation, I used these 3 things. Correct? Why
Yes.
I changed here? Controller to controller, service to service. Explain.
in the component, it doesn't contain the service repository and controller annotations.
Mm.
Instead of component, we are using these annotations individually.
For what is denoting, what is indicating for? It's like a controller class. It's like a service class to name that,
Yes, sir.
to identify the layer, controller layer, service layer. So they are again introduced with 3 annotations.
Yes.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Good. Next, Srinivas, can you explain why these 3 annotations are introduced and why are added at the class level? Why can't you use component annotation? So I changed the question, but answer is same. We can ask many ways, right? Same
Yes.
question. Yeah, tell me.
Yes, sir. To avoiding the XML file and to
Yeah,
indicate,
that is avoiding by is done by component also, right? Components we are avoiding being done. We are asking about this 3 annotation, newly introduced 3 annotation. These are for what?
yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me. Explain.
At the rate.
Just now you said, Yadav, I also explain. Listen carefully.
Yes, sir.
So what is that? To naming, to know that.
To identify the name classes names, the
Whether a controller class,
service,
service class,
repository
right.
class.
Right. Yeah, Pooja can explain now. So listen carefully. She will elaborate some more. Pooja, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I mean, to give the proper naming convention, they have come up with giving as component, service, and repository. By giving in this way, we can categorize the logic or the activity what we are doing. So, yeah, that is all. It is just
Yeah,
keeping respective names instead of keeping component class for every class. Whatever the action we are doing, we are categorizing it. If it is a service class what we have, we keep service, so it contains only a business logic, so one can easily identify without seeing the class name like that.
Correct. So if is there any other than controller, other than service, other than repository, other classes are there. For example, simple class,
Yes, sir.
simple
Those all we
bean
can
class. Then that time we can use at the rate
at the
component annotation.
component. Correct.
Like a helper class is there. Sometimes you are writing helper classes, right? Then there you can use which one? At the rate component annotation. This are regularly using in the real time. Clear? I hope everyone understood about these three annotations. Still
Yes, sir.
anybody have? Yeah. Everyone. So Jaishil, Paradisi, have you understood? You are regularly attending, I think. So interact, man. The interaction session. Jaishil, can you hear me?
Sir, yes, sir.
Yeah, understood this annotations.
Sir, I just came now, sir, to class. Due to power cut, I am unable to join the class.
So if you should inform, right, this joined batch so that we know that. How do we know?
Sir,
Whether this is online class, everything should be interact. That's the reason I'm telling. What you are facing the issue, you should ping here. So just now I re-log in due to the power issue, so that I can repeat it again. Correct?
Oh,
Everyone, not for each.
yes. Yes, sir.
So how do I know? You tell whether you are there or not. How do I know? You should convey it, right? So that
Yes, sir.
so guys, everyone should communicate. This is not a offline. It's online, right? Maybe my side is also some issues occur, network issue, and your side maybe our power issue. Many things are there. That is the reason I'm asking should interact. Is clear or not? Why I'm asking repeatedly? Because my side is a voice issue there, maybe network issue. Same thing for your side. That is the reason I'm asking again and again. Okay. Now
Okay, sir.
I hope everyone understood why I'm asking repeatedly.
Yes, sir.
So what I said here, I executed the program. First, I explained the theory. First, I explained the theory at the rate component and at the rate this annotation. After that, I added this annotation at a code level and executed the program. And once the execution is done successfully, and I again repeating with this concept. And few of the people are explaining this. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
No, okay. Go in mute and repeating here. So at the rate component annotation, we can use for every class, whether it's a controller, service, DAO, helper class, or any normal bean class, right? We can use. But it's not giving the proper naming convention. It's not represented what type of logic for here creating the bean, right? So that is the reason. Again, the three annotations was introduced. I think version is 2.5 thing. And the first one is the at the rate controller annotation. And this is for we can annotate the controlling logic. Okay, and another one is at the rate service for it annotated with which one? Business logic, whatever service layer logic we can use. And a repository for whatever your database logic. So whenever you communicate with the database and fetching the data and processing, those logic we call it as as for the design pattern, we call it as a DAO, data access object. This is one of the design pattern. And this type of business we can annotated with at the rate repository annotation. Okay. Other than these three classes, we have helper class or simple bean classes are there. Those time we can use at the rate component annotation. And I added the same thing in the program I executed.
Sir,
Yes.
why we need categorize?
Categorize because we are developing the any project by using MVC design pattern.
Sir, we have Project Explorer. Already we given some packages and we can easily identify.
How you are identifying? Because while project developing, how you are starting the project development? How you start your project development?
In the starting, we are creating packages like
You are
controller.
creating, okay. You developed the package, you know the package structure. And you are not working on continuously on the same company for long time, right?
Yes,
Right.
sir.
And a new developer will join in your place, and that person
Okay.
should know that. And all the software developers, we are following some of the design principles. And
Okay.
based on the design principles is giving the best solution, right? So why
Okay.
the design patterns was introduced? The same problem is occurring again and again. There you giving the best solution. Correct? Example, singleton design pattern, okay, factory design pattern, okay, MVC design pattern,
Okay.
and front controller design pattern. Like we have many design patterns are there. So whenever you developing any web application or console application or RESTful web services application also, we are following the MVC architecture style. MVC, you know, right? Model view
Yes, sir.
controller.
Yes,
So
sir.
all the controller logic we are annotating with the at the rate controller, and all the business logic, service layer logic we are annotated with the at the rate service, right? And all the database access logic we are writing into DAO packet, and that we represented with at the rate repository annotation. And it is not a mandatory. We can work with at the rate component annotation, no issue, right? We can use at the rate component. Previous example is working, right? Everything, but
Yes, sir.
it's giving the naming convention. We can easily know that. Okay. So
Okay.
and
Okay.
it's giving this container also easily identifying those information. Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Clear, everyone? Respond, man. Whenever
Yes, sir.
asked.
Yeah, yes, sir.
So again, I'm telling it is an interact session and it's online session. Maybe any issues occurred at some time. Correct? Maybe your side or maybe my side. Correct? So that is the reason I'm repeating. I hope everyone understood. Okay, then next we go for this is done, and next we go for another one at the rate value annotation. So still now we configured which one object type here annotating, but I have a simple type. So like example, simple type, what is that name? Name is a simple type, and this is I configured where in the DAO. DAO I hard coded here. So instead of that, I can configure this value as well by using which annotation? At the rate value. Here at the rate value annotation, and this is taken from factory dot annotation dot value, and this at the rate value used for simple type. Simple type values we can inject the value. Simple type means all primitive data types or all wrapper classes. You know primitive data types: byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, char. Okay, all these things we can inject it. These are simple type, not a object type. If it's object type, we can use at the rate component or based on the that logic, maybe controller, service, repository, that we can use at a class file. And if you are injecting example inside this which one service class, we are injecting that DAO class. DAO class is a which type? Object type. So we are using at the rate auto. But if is there any simple type? Simple type means wrapper classes and primitive data type. So those things we can inject with at the rate value. Okay. So now I'm giving this at the rate value with Srinivas. So now this value is injecting where at the property level. So we should define here. Okay. So we have to take the one private variable. Private. It's a string type. Okay. And we are taking the name. Okay. And this name is returning here. Return name. Correct. And how we are this name is initializing? We have to use XML file. In XML file, how you write bean ID equal to test DAO, class equal to test DAO, property name. Property means the setter injection or constructor injection where you are developing, right? So, but no need to define in XML file. We can write here. So this name is injecting with this value, and this value is returning here. This is for simple type values injecting. We have to use at the rate value annotation. Okay, let me check now. And this name is where you are calling service layer, and from service layer where you are calling controller layer. Okay, now this time we'll print the screen. Correct? We changed the name, right? So let me test. Now it's getting right. What you are latest value is injected, that is returning.
Yes, sir.
So understood at the rate value annotation. At the rate value annotation is inject the simple type of properties. At the rate value. Like simple type means all primitive data types. All primitive data types, all wrapper classes, right? Wrapper. Clear? And these are the @auto_var components for what is a class type, the reference type. Those we can use here. It's a simple type, we can use @value. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Everyone? Everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So maximum 9 members are there. 9 members are understood?
Yes, sir.
Good. Trigger, you are understood? You are not responding.
Yes, sir.
Why I'm specifically asking? Whenever asked, they should interact. Maybe I thought maybe you got a net issue or something, mic issue. Something has happened, right? Just now I explained the problem. With the example, with which one? Jai. Okay, should interact everyone. Now, you are understood, right? What is @auto_var annotation, @component, @qualifier, @controller, @service, @repository, and @value. Then, everyone clear, right?
Yes.
Next, so this is our today topic. I prepared for this today's session. Okay, and this is done. Next, we can use a property file. So we can use property files, and also next scope. And another one, we can also avoid this XML file configuration also. So we are using everything is annotation approach, right? And why this XML file is required? We can also avoid this one, right? Yes or no? Right? For that, we have that class is there. The class name is, we can use annotation config application context. We have to create an object for this class, and we can avoid completely which one? XML file also. Okay. So do you want to copy anything? The notes here. This take this screenshot, and code level you can add simply annotation. Okay. Later we go for this one. Next level. Take this screenshot. We can start the new topic, or we can start already easy, right? I think you have a class, right? Next 9. Can we start a new topic tomorrow? Tomorrow Sunday, right? And we have a class.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Can I continue,
Yes,
or
sir.
we can
Okay.
discuss? Can I continue now, or we can discuss new topic tomorrow?
You can continue now, sir.
Yes, sir. You can continue.
Okay. Everyone has time, right? You have offline class at 9 p.m. right? 9 a.m.
At 11 a.m., sir.
11. Okay. Okay, then we can continue. No problem. That's new topic. So you want to copy anything? You done this description, right? And today I will prepare this document what we discussed, and I will share tomorrow session. Okay. And at code level, you can just adding this annotation. And DAO layer, we can adding the new property and giving the value. Okay. Clear?
Okay.
You can add like this also. Yeah. First name, last name you are adding, right? You can also add here. String first name. Start with a small letter, right? Yes. First name. This is the first name. And also I can use the last name. And second word, first letter should capital, right? First name. Last name. Okay, last name I'm giving. What is that? What is your name? So I'm giving like get this. Okay, so get a name. Whenever calling the get name, we are calling the first name plus last name. Right? We are adding first name plus last name. Right? Okay. So how many simple type properties are there? Those we can use with @value annotation. Okay. So no need configuring the XML file by using setter approach or constructor approach, right? Just simple giving here. Clear? So now test this one. Now we'll get the full name, right? Srinivas SS will come in our output. We're getting right full name. And you want to give space, then you can use /t here. Clear? Now we'll get some space here. So you can copy this one, take the screenshot and execute. I will check tomorrow. Everyone should execute this exam. Done? Then taking screenshot is done.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. So this is about example. Next, what is our plan? So in XML file, we don't have any beans. Why you are writing again this XML, right? This is also we can avoid by using which class? So now we are executing this one. Annotation config application context. Okay, so I prepared this document. I will share tomorrow with adding some all properties. And this thread inject is not required. The property file we'll discuss next. So how I am avoiding this complete XML file? This I'm giving annotation file. So this is the next topic. This all are string context, string light size, string is there. So what is our requirement? No need to read this XML file, right? Everything is annotation way. Then why should I read still XML? And in that XML, why should I inform with the context :component scan? So this also we can give through Java, right? Yes or no? So for that, which class is there? So this is not required here. And this you can commenting here. Okay. So this is annotation. Import from context annotation. Here. Annotation config application context equal to, and context can. This is did you observe here? This where you are writing in XML file you are writing, right? Context component scan, this tag, and we are giving the base package, right? Yes, sir. So we are in Java side how we are informing in this class one method is there. Context the scan method is there, scanning the our base package. Okay, and refresh the container and call this which one or which object you want, we can call it. Okay, save. Once again run this one. Now we are getting right. All objects are created and we are getting that your details with value. And this time we are not reading any XML file. It's giving the faster performance, right? If you are avoiding the XML configuration, there is no conversion. XML object is converted to Java object, right? Understood? How we are avoiding? Just we are creating the object for annotation config application context and scan the base package and refresh it. Then you can call which bin you require. That's it. This is a way to avoid the complete XML. Okay, clear or any doubt? Any doubt? We are avoiding completely XML configuration, right? Can you hear me or any network issue?
Yes, sir.
So your homework is what? You should execute the separate application by using these three controllers and this one algorithm value. Okay, and another one is by annotation approach. What is the annotation approach? By what is the class name? Annotation config application context. Okay, these three examples you should execute today, and I will check tomorrow session. And tomorrow next, how we can read the property file in real time, regularly using configuration details in property file. Okay, that how we are reading property files. We can discuss tomorrow. Okay, clear? And tomorrow class is same time only, 7 to 8. And if you are available, I can extend for more half an hour. Okay, 1.5 hours, so that we can complete it quickly. The Spring,
Okay,
then
sir.
we start the Spring Beat. How many things are there? Still we have to learn. Spring JDB. After this, we have to learn Spring JDBC, then Spring Hibernate, then Spring MVC, then Spring Boot. In Spring Boot, we have to learn the web services. After that, microservices. It's almost taking more 1 month. So that's the reason I'm taking Sunday class.
Yes, sir.
Hmm?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Yeah, okay.